What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's fight at cruiserweight between Billam-Smith and Brandon Glanton. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. Could you also please remember to hit subscribe? My YouTube analytics are telling me that around 75% of you who watch my content haven't done that yet. Please also like this video, and if you can, go down to the bottom of your screen right now and hit the bell notification button so you can be notified every time I put something out that's new. All right, guys, all week I've been analyzing, documenting, and predicting this fight card going down at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this weekend in London. And the last video, the last fight is this one. I've gotten a lot of messages. Johnny, don't forget the CBS fight. Johnny, who do you got on Brandon Glanton versus CBS? So, guys, this one is for you. I was always planning to do it. It's just that the way some of the views have been the last few weeks in terms of documenting the main event of each fight card, I was doing the main event fighter last, but lately I've seen more views happen if I do the main event fighter, this time Ben and Eubank Jr., midweek and save the first fight on the main card for the end of the week. And that's what I'm doing here. So in today's video, we're going to break down both fighters. We're going to remind everybody what they've been up to, talk a little bit about their game plans going into this fight. Also, stay tuned to the end of this video because I will be giving you my prediction. Also, there's a prop bet that I'm actually really confident about, so stay tuned to the end of the video. All right, guys, we last saw Billam-Smith, CBS, in a brutal fight against Zurdo Ramirez. That fight was for the undisputed title at cruiserweight, and CBS was on the short end of a decision. He took a lot of damage in that fight. That's one of those fights where if you're a true blue boxing fan, you don't really find joy in watching any fighter overcome all of that damage. And with Zurdo, it wasn't really pot shotting. He's not a big one-punch knockout puncher, but in boxing, when we think about the negative consequences of a really brutal fight, it's never the big punchers that do the damage. It's that volume style. So the narrative right now on CBS is how much damage did he take against Zurdo that's going to stick around? What will he look like in this fight? A lot of people were really interested in that. In my film study, a lot of the predictions on YouTube were talking about that narrative. The one thing that I'm interested on is, can he start the fight off quick? We know he's going to be a bigger guy. He has a huge head and a huge neck. He's built for damage. He doesn't do anything exciting, though, in terms of boxing skills, and that's not a downfall. When I was a kid growing up, one of my favorite NBA basketball players was Tim Duncan, and his nickname was the Big Fundamental. And this is kind of what Billam-Smith reminds me of in the boxing ring. He uses his length to jab. He's not going to do anything great, but he does a lot of the little things really well, and this is why he's a former world champion, and this is why he feels he still has the skills at this stage of his career to become a world champion. There is some heat behind this matchup with Brandon Glanton. If you're watching the pre-fight fight week, things went down this morning. Glanton said that he wants to give CBS brain damage. The UK media are taking that really offensive, and they're trying to get Glanton, as we speak, fined for those comments. Brandon Glanton is a guy who feels he has been undervalued and underappreciated his whole career. He only has 2 losses. This is an American with power. He's dangerous. And like I said, he's coming to prove a point. The thing about Glanton as well, you guys could look at his schedule, which we'll go over. You could look at his resume, see what he does. 17 knockouts out of 20 wins. His only 2 losses are by decision. But the thing that I'm most impressed with him that I haven't seen anybody on YouTube talk about is this guy is willing to travel. He is the road warrior. They call him Bulletproof, but think about one of the nicknames they used to call Evander Holyfield, the Road Warrior. Of course, his major nickname was the Real Deal Holyfield, but in interviews, you could hear Holyfield call himself the Road Warrior. Certain fighters take pride in traveling to other fighters' homeland and beating them. He's done this multiple times. He's done this in France. He's done this in Russia. And with a victory over CBS, he's going to be able to put the UK on his hit list. So right now, let's take a closer look at what's going down this Saturday night at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Guys, Billam-Smith is known on the British boxing scene as the gentleman for good reason. The former world champion is not one for trash talking and looks to conduct himself professionally. Brandon Glanton, however, doesn't see him that way. Glanton fights Billam-Smith on the undercard of the Chris Eubank Jr. vs. Conor Benn Ring Magazine event on Saturday. The American has a point to prove against Billam-Smith. He has taken offense from a snub when they crossed paths ahead of Billam-Smith's fight with Lawrence Okolie in Bournemouth in 2023. He didn't extend that respect to me, Glanton told Sky Sports. He didn't even shake my hand. I didn't know him other than being a fighter. Maybe he didn't like the fact that I was part of Team Okolie at the time. I don't know what it was, but a man extends his hand in respect. You shake it. That's it. We're all cruiserweights. I get it. We all have a job to do, but shaking my hand doesn't mean we're friends, we're buddies, we're pals. I respect you for where you are. Billam-Smith, as far as Glanton is concerned, is no gentleman. He acts like he is. The cameras don't see everything. Reality TV ain't reality. We'll see him for what he is, Glanton said. It says what type of person he really is outside of boxing, what kind of man he is. The Briton, however, denied any knowledge of that incident. I have no recollection at all of him ever offering me a handshake or seeing him before yesterday, Billam-Smith said. What I will do is once I've beaten him, I'll shake his hand, if he'll accept it. Who knows after how much it'll hurt him. The American, however, insisted. He remembers. He looked me in my eyes. I looked him in his pupils and he walked past me. He knows I don't like him. I know this is his last hurrah. He understands. His time is done. So there is some vitriol on this fight. This is a tale of two fighters. The narrative in CBS is that he's not finished. He still has a point to prove. His career isn't over. He's still going to become a world champion at cruiserweight. And with Glenn, the narrative is that you guys better remember my name. I'm coming here to win. I'm coming in to hurt CBS. And at the end of the day, I'm coming in to be a world champion. So right now, let's take a closer look at who Brandon Glanton is and see what he's been up to. Guys, Brandon Glanton is 20-2 with 17 knockouts. He carries into the ring an 85% career knockout to win ratio. And out of 1,508 cruiserweights, he's ranked number 22. He has a career 88 pro rounds. Boxed. His adoring fans know him as Bulletproof. And the 33-year-old American is an orthodox fighter, standing at 5'11" with a 79-inch reach. We last saw him fight Egorov, 12-1, knocked him out in the 11th. Markic, 35-4, knocked him out in the 2nd. Romero, 12-1, knocked him out in the 3rd. Asbarov, 3-0, he lost a majority decision in the 10th. David Light, 19-0, lost a split decision in the 10th. Mario Aguiar, 22-7, knockout in the 2nd. So guys, over his last 5 fights, he's gone 3-2. He lost 2 close decisions back-to-back against the Kiwi David Light and then in Dubai against Asarov. But both of those fights could have gone either way. If you rewatch them, you wouldn't have been upset if they would have been given to Glenn. He could easily be undefeated. After those 2 losses, he then avenges them by going 3-0 with 3 knockouts. This is a guy who wants to hurt you. The way he's coming into this fight, it kind of reminds me of Rocky 3 when you had Clubber Lang, played by Mr. T, campaigning and petitioning for a fight against Rocky and the trash talk leading up to that, and Mr. T was finding ways to hype himself up. And this, in a sense, kind of reminds me what Glanton is doing about the snubbed handshake, the stuff that's happened today during media day in terms of him saying he wants to hurt him and give him brain damage. But every fighter has their own way of going about their business, and you couldn't have 2 more contrastive styles psychologically than Glenn and CBS. Let's take a closer look at the former champion, Billam-Smith. Guys, Chris Billam-Smith is 20-2 with 13 knockouts. He carries into the ring a 65% career knockout to win ratio, and out of 1,508 cruiserweights, he's ranked number 3 in the world. His adoring fans know him as the Gentleman, and he has a career 152 pro rounds boxed. The 34-year-old Brit is a 6'3" orthodox fighter with a 78-inch reach. We last saw him fight Gilberto Ramirez, 46-1, lost the decision in the 12th. Rakpour, 17-0, won a UD in the 12th. Masterneck, 47-5, got him out of there in the 8th. Oakley, 19-0, majority decision in the 12th. Zhozhag, 14-2, knocked him out in the 5th. With CBS, he's going to want to get back on his winning ways. He's going to want to erase the memory of what we just saw in his last fight against Ramirez. And what do we always say? Boxing is a sport of what have you done for me lately? CBS is going to be at his best when he makes this fight ugly. He can't fight an ego-style fight. I don't know if he's going to be as durable as he's known to be, considering the damage he took from Ramirez. This is the main question I brought up once again that a lot of the pundits are asking. Will we see the same resilient and durable Chris Billam-Smith? We know when you get cracked in the chin, you might have a strong chin your entire career, but all it takes is one time to get clipped and your chin might not be the same. I think he has to use his jab with CBS. He's going to grab a lot. He's going to fight in the clinch, But in that pocket is exactly where Glanton wants to be as well. And both guys are going to have to go to the body. Both guys are going to have to use their jab to set up the infighting work. And it's going to come down to who's tougher, who could hurt each other the worst, and who's going to be the more psychologically sound fighter in this fight. You got to give the resume to CBS. And I think that his game plan also is going to be able to take Glenn into deep waters, weather an early storm, feel that power fade throughout the fight. And if he could do that, CBS probably will give himself the best chance at winning. When I look at both guys side by side, Glenn's listed at 5'11", CBS is 6'3". During the face-off today, CBS looked a little bit taller than just a 4-inch height advantage. Maybe Glanton's shorter than he is on paper. I've never met him, so I can't answer that. The interesting thing, though, is with that 4+ height disadvantage, Glanton has the longer reach. So think about that. He's going to use that reach to set up his power, set up his jab, and if he's successful in doing so, I think this is going to be a really competitive fight. The pro rounds are on the side of CBS. The championship pedigree is on the side of CBS. The one thing that isn't is their last fight. I told you, Glanton 3-0 with 3 knockouts, all the confidence in the world. He feels this is business as usual. He's coming into another opponent's homeland and he's going to leave with a victory. We'll see if that's the case. Right now, I want to take a closer look at the Las Vegas odds and see where the sports bettors are putting their money. Guys, down here in Australia, my sports book is called Sportsbet. So if you're down here in Oz, let's pull those out right now and let's look at those betting odds. All right, guys, the current money line is as close to a 50-50 as you could get. 100 on Billam-Smith gets you your money back plus 97. 100 on Glanton gets you your money back plus 95. So the bettors are torn. Like I said, in my film study, all of the British boxing pundits on YouTube are taking CBS. I've only seen one guy, he has a channel out of Texas, who's taking Glanton. The draw is 17-1. Both guys' gas tank should be tested. We know that both guys can go the distance. It's just that with a power puncher and Glanton, it's the power that fades throughout the fight. But that being said, in a most recent fight, he did get a stoppage in the 11th. So I see some of the naysayers saying that Glanton's gas tank is going to be an issue. We will see. Let's take a closer look at the method of victories. And also there's a prop bet I want to finish this video on that I'm thinking about being froggy on. Let's get to that real quick. All right, guys, the method of victories. CBS by points or decision, 260. CBS by knockout, 675. Glanton by points or decision, 420. Glanton by knockout, 330. So when we're looking at these method of victories, the CBS fans are saying that he has a better chance of winning a points decision than knocking Glanton out. And the Glanton fans are saying he has a better chance of knocking CBS out than winning a points decision. So only time will tell. When I'm thinking about a prop bet that you guys should take a look at, now the sports betting app down here that I use is allowing me to do a prop over or under 1 knockdown. So if you're torn on this, if it's truly a 50-50 and you don't know where to put your money, you don't know if it's your heart or your wallet you want to bet on, for $1.85 each way, if you pick that this fight will have at least 1 knockdown, that's $1.85. Or if you pick this fight will have under 1 knockdown, so none, that's $1.85. The bet I'm going to go on, if I take that prop bet, I'll let you guys know in the community section. I love 1 knockdown or more for $1.85, but that's not my prediction. That's something for you guys to think about. My prediction on this, I feel that I'm going with the energy, the momentum, the confidence of the American. I think Bulletproof is going to get it done. I think he's going to be able to put the UK on his resume as another country that he invaded and took a scalp. I think Glanton's power is going to fade CBS. I think he's going to wear him down. I think he's going to work to the body early. He's going to pressure him. And I think we're going to see some of those cracks from the Zurdo Ramirez fight show in CBS. You guys don't have to agree with me in the comment section below. I know a lot of you Brits tune in, so I'm not meaning to offend you with this. This is just a requirement of my channel, telling you where I think after all my studies that I think Glanton's going to win. Let me know who do you think is going to win. Also, if you haven't seen my breakdown, analysis, and prediction of the main event between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, stay tuned to the channel because that's coming up right now.